Healing forward, the generational power of authenticity. Have you ever noticed how we carry invisible weights? The kind that shape our posture, affect our breathing, influence our decisions, yet we rarely acknowledge their existence. I recently had the profound privilege of interviewing Michelle Edmonds, a visionary whose work has transformed the landscape of healing for Black women across generations. Michelle isn't just a thought leader. She's a soul guide who has helped thousands reclaim their authentic selves from the clutches of generational trauma. Her insights illuminate how unhealed wounds silently orchestrate our daily existence, particularly for those navigating spaces that weren't designed with us in mind. What makes Michelle extraordinary is her ability to see beyond individual healing to the ripple effects that extend through time, touching lives not yet born. When Michelle speaks about intentional healing, she doesn't offer quick fixes or Instagram worthy affirmations. She talks about the messy, sometimes uncomfortable work of recognizing how childhood experiences and societal expectations have programmed our responses to the world. And this recognition, it's just the beginning. We must recognize that unhealed childhood trauma and learned behaviors shape our daily lives and relationships, often without us realizing it. Michelle emphasized during our conversation. This awareness isn't meant to burden us, it's meant to free us. Think about it. How many times have you reacted to a situation and later wondered, where did that come from? That's your past speaking through your present. That's generational patterns asserting themselves in real time. That's your grandmother's fear of scarcity showing up when you hesitate to invest in yourself. That's your mother's learned silence emerging when you swallow your words in meetings. But here's where Michelle's perspective becomes truly transformative. Healing isn't just about fixing what's broken, it's about reclaiming what was always yours. Your authentic self, for Black women especially, authenticity comes at a premium. We're often asked to code switch, to shrink, to prove our competence twice over. We're expected to be strong without showing vulnerability, to be confident without being threatening, to be successful without outshining others. It's exhausting. And according to Michelle, it's also unnecessary. Consider the story of Michelle Gray Haywood, one of the first Black women to work in a federal government role within a male dominated industry. As part of the first four pioneering Black female students integrating Grinnell University during segregation era Georgia, Haywood faced isolation and constant doubt about her capabilities. What's remarkable isn't just that she persevered, it's how she persevered. Rather than contorting herself to fit expectations, Haywood built community with her peers. She didn't just ask for material resources, she requested respect. When colleagues questioned her abilities, she didn't work twice as hard to prove herself. She simply continued producing excellence while maintaining her dignity. Her authenticity became her superpower, not her liability. The results speak volumes. Her presence at Grinnell led to increased enrollment of Black students. She completed her degree early despite adversity and became recognized as an influencer who opened doors for other Black professionals. By refusing to diminish her light, she illuminated paths for generations to follow. This is what Michelle Edmonds means when she says authenticity is powerful. When we embrace who we truly are without apology, we don't just free ourselves, we create permission for others to do the same. But authenticity requires courage. It demands that we face our wounds rather than masking them with achievement, busyness, or the infamous strong Black woman cape that so many of us have worn until it frayed. During our interview, Michelle emphasized that resilience can be generational. This struck me deeply. We often think of generational patterns in terms of trauma, the dysfunctions and difficulties passed down like unwanted heirlooms. But what if resilience, healing, and authenticity could be our legacy instead? Let me share another powerful example that Michelle highlighted. Young Mimichile Kang, who began her career as an immigrant woman in tech consulting before founding Cognosante, a company focused on disrupting healthcare access inequities. Kang faced dual challenges, navigating both gendered expectations in male dominated corporate environments and cultural differences as an immigrant woman leader. The conventional wisdom might suggest conforming, playing small, waiting your turn. Kang did the opposite. She leaned into authenticity, pursuing bold visions rather than following established norms. Starting in the empty room above her garage, her journey required constant self validation against external doubt while balancing family responsibilities. Under her leadership at Northrop Grumman's Health and Science Solutions Unit, growth quadrupled. Later, she built Cognizant from scratch into an industry leader that was acquired by Accenture Federal Services in 2024. Her company specifically created opportunities benefiting veterans, military spouses, persons with disabilities, seniors, and underserved communities. This is what happens when we refuse to shrink, when we heal enough to trust our vision, when we're authentic enough to lead from our values rather than from fear. But individual stories, powerful as they are, don't fully capture the transformative potential of collective healing and authenticity. This brings us to the first four at Brunel University, a testament to the power of shared resilience. These pioneering Black female students didn't just face institutional racism and isolation. They built solidarity among themselves and engaged administration persistently despite misunderstanding and resistance. They advocated not only for themselves, but for all future minority students' needs to be respected and heard. Their presence led directly to greater diversity and inclusion over subsequent years. They navigated academic and social obstacles together while modeling healthy coping strategies under pressure. They laid groundwork so others could thrive without enduring similar hardships alone. Their legacy continues inspiring young women to pursue goals unapologetically, regardless of outside perceptions or inherited limitations. This is generational healing in action, not just breaking cycles of harm, but creating new cycles of possibility. As Michelle so powerfully articulated, by facing our traumas and prioritizing healing, we break cycles for ourselves and create space for our children to grow with healthier life skills. This is where the personal becomes political, where individual healing becomes collective liberation. When we do our own work, when we face our wounds, embrace our authenticity, and practice resilience, we don't just transform our own lives, we transform the possibilities for everyone who comes after us. In what many are calling the soft girl era, we're learning that softness isn't weakness. It's a radical act of self love. It's about dropping the superwoman cape that's been weighing us down. It's about saying no without guilt and yes with intention. It's about reclaiming our identity, not the version shaped by family expectations, church roles, or boardroom rules, but the real us that's been waiting to bloom. Michelle challenges us to take time for honest self reflection about past hurts or limiting beliefs we may carry unconsciously into our present lives or relationships. She invites us to choose one small step toward healing for ourselves that does not center anyone else's needs or expectations before our own. This isn't selfishness, it's self preservation. And for Black women who have historically been expected to preserve everyone but themselves, it's revolutionary. I'm reminded of Audre Lorde's profound words: caring for myself is not self indulgence, it is self preservation, and that is an act of political warfare. When Michelle speaks about intentional healing, she's inviting us into this same radical self care, not as a luxury, but as a necessity. The journey isn't easy. Healing rarely is. It requires us to sit with discomfort, to question patterns we've long accepted as normal, to set boundaries that may disappoint others, to prioritize our well being, even when it feels foreign to do so. But the rewards extend far beyond our individual lives. When we heal, we create ripples that touch our children, our communities, our workplaces, our creative endeavors. We model possibilities that may have seemed unimaginable to previous generations. So today I challenge you to ask yourself, what would your life look like if you stopped carrying weights that were never yours to bear? What dreams might you pursue if fear of judgment no longer held you back? What relationships might transform if you showed up as your authentic self? I challenge you to identify just one pattern, one inherited belief or behavior that no longer serves you. Name it, write it down, and then commit to replacing it with something that honors your true self. Because there's the truth that Michelle Edmonds helped me see. Your healing isn't just about you. It's about everyone who will ever know you, love you, or be influenced by you. It's about creating a new legacy, one of authenticity, resilience, and wholeness. The most revolutionary act you can perform isn't changing the world. It's healing yourself so thoroughly that the world changes around you. This is your invitation, not to perfection, but to progress, not to having all the answers, but to asking better questions, not to avoiding pain, but to moving through it with purpose. Your healing journey begins now, and generations yet unborn are waiting to thank you for it.